Many people do not know the importance of spiritual baths, what they really are or how or why they work. Within our world, our physical world, it is important for human beings to shower and keep themselves physically clean. But it is just as important for humans to keep themselves spiritually clean. Now, what does this mean? The body can become dirty from sweat, dirt, grime, the environment, etc. And of course it is natural for us to want to cleanse that all away and make ourselves feel refreshed. However, our spiritual selves, the invisible part of our existence that is attached to our physical form through force and energy, carries our burdens, fears, depression, our anxieties, our anger, other people's wickedness, other people's jealousy, other people's energy, which attaches itself to us negatively. All of this are loads that the human carries daily. Like a magnet, we can pick up the problems of others, see psychic attacks and energy transference post, or wicked psychic attacks and spiritual attacks, and most often we never know this. Some people may suffer from headaches for years and doctors cannot find the cause. That is because the cause is not physical. It can be caused by either noun, obia, a name taken from Jamaican patois to denote a spiritual practice often used for negative outcomes against others, but can also be used for positive outcomes. Other similar words practices are juju, voodoo, witchcraft, native doctors, etc. It is the manipulation of energy using physical tools and incantations for a desired effect. It is a mysterious and unstructured form of spiritual practice, as often practitioners do not have specific spirits, deities, beings that are assigned to carry out the abia work, which leaves the work to be contracted by any spirit, wayward, malevolent or otherwise. Class equals glossary link, greater than abia or simply, psychic attacks, in other words jealousy, people speaking ill of you too much, or projecting negative thoughts against you, or even cursing you or your lineage. All of this adds up to spiritual dirt, spiritual grime, spiritual sweat, spiritual debris, spiritual burdens and loads. While the physical body may be clean, the spiritual part of us has not been attended to. And that is a must. It must be cleansed, but how do we do this? Spiritual baths. A month ago I received a phone call from someone in Jamaica. He gave his friend the phone to say hello to me. Let's call him Joe. It was Joe's birthday and so I prayed for him. While doing this, I sensed that there was going to be a problem for Joe in ways of sickness. Joe did not know who I was, meaning a spiritualist, and I worried about giving him the message, but I threw caution to the wind and told him what I saw. I told him that if he starts to feel any sign of illness, get in touch with me right away if he can and I will tell him what to do. 2 weeks after, my friend called again and gave Joe the phone. Joe told me that his arm, from the elbow to the wrist, was in excruciating pain and tender to the touch. He had no idea what happened as he did not hurt himself at all. Immediately, I began to pray for him and during the prayer I saw the source of the problem and fortunately the solution came also. I gave him specific instructions of a bath that he should take immediately. I then asked him if he had collected anything from someone recently. Yes, he told me. And that was it. It was witchcraft, but the witchcraft was not intended for Joe, but it caught him nevertheless. Joe followed my instructions for the bath, which he had to take morning, noon and night of that very same day. 3 days ago, he sent me a message that not only did the swelling of his arm reduce and the pain disappear, but he realized that a lot of blockages in his life had cleared. He had finally gotten some gigs. He is into music. Some people who owed him money called him out of the blue and returned it to him. He applied for a US visa earlier before and had received it successfully, among other things he told me. In his own words, he told me that after taking the bath he felt as if he could fly, he was light and there was something within his spirit that felt that everything was going to be okay. A gloom he had not once noticed had lifted. Joe was not a spiritual person, and did not know anything about spirituality, but he thanked me profusely and I wished him well. Bloggers, I cannot believe I have never broken down spiritual baths on this blog before. How could this have escaped me when I believed in them so much? If you have ever taken a spiritual bath, you will, or should, experience a light feeling just like Joe did. All the debris and damage and wickedness that you have ever suffered in your life should go immediately. I will begin to offer baths on Shop Embracing Spirituality this week. Baths are one of my favorite kind of work and can be very powerful, but first, you should know how they work. Spiritual baths are for many different reasons in Nuna Spiritual Celestial Church, which is found in Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean, where the members worship like a regular church, but there is a spiritual element added to it, such as prophecy, oracles, drumming, and the burning of candles. Here are some helpful posts on Zion for further understanding. Feel the energy of the spirits cross cultures, spiritual similarities, veneration, and worship. Class equals glossary link greater than Zion, revival in Jamaica. There are baths called judgment baths, and these baths are usually made with different types of herbs and other spiritual items that can remove whatever judgment, negativity, or avia that anyone has thrown to another. In judgment baths, salt is often one of the ingredients, and there is a huge reason for this. If the person is competent, then salt should be included in a judgment bath. The reason for this is that salt naturally cleanses or cuts and clears, and at the same time it adds flavor to whatever it is added to. However, when it comes to salt, it requires balance. Too much salt can ruin something, just as too little can ruin something. This includes baths. See salt post. Water is also a very important element in baths because it cleanses. So if you read this post properly, you'll realize that I put salt and I put water. Now the competent spiritualist will add his own ingredients to the bath like a science problem. But here, salt and water will be the base most times of the bath, and what you will add, and this is in this particular type of bath called judgment, the removal of strong and powerful avia or negative influence. Now, mind you, there are variations of salt. Table salt, sea salt, rock salt, Himalayan salt, kosher salt, black salt, and many others. So noun, the practice of seeking knowledge and clarity of the past, present, or future through spiritual means. Reading types can widely vary but are often sacred objects, elements of nature, or persons. Related, divination. Class equals glossary link greater than. Reading this does not give you the authority to use any salt to water and call it a bath. You must be careful because you do not want to call forces that you cannot manage with ingredients that you may want to put together for this type of bath. How do baths work? In spirituality, different from tradition, baths work not only with the ingredients applied but also with what they symbolize. For example, there is a peace bath. In a peace bath, the practitioner might make everything white, and this is to give the person peace in their lives, but note that each ingredient has its purpose that it adds to the bath on a whole, but the white symbolizes peace, purity, and calmness. This is a spiritual code to the invisible or non-physicals who will assist in the bath, because if you did not know, you are not bathing alone. Unseen forces are with you and assisting you to cleanse your auric field and to mend any S that are there or are broken. Baths should be taken at least once every 3 months by everyone. But it is always best to have a practitioner recommend the baths or fix them for you. Why? Because if a person wants to take a love bath to bring love to them, and trust me, this works if done properly, but they have no idea that there is a block in their love life that needs to be removed. Can this love bath still be effective? No, it is the practitioner that must do something to remove that blockage so that the love bath can now enter and work successfully. This is why I do not advise for people to simply Google and mix their own baths because they have no idea what stands before their life, the encumbrances, the source of stagnancy in the area that they are looking to fix, etc. So I always recommend to my people that they must always get 3 baths to effectively remove the problem and bring forth the sweetness. I can personally testify about baths not only for myself and my children, but also for my clients. I have written this here before, but a woman came to me with a problem with her foot. It was green for 9 years because of a bia. I had fixed a herbal bath for her and had given it to her at night time. Note asterisk, this is another thing you should know. Certain baths have particular times that they work with. These are because of the different energies that pass through our world and verb, a subtle movement currently taking place on Earth, shifting humanity's consciousness to a higher frequency. This will allow Earth beings to be more consciously evolved and advanced. During the shift, many who are a part of the conscious evolvement will see odd numbers at odd times, e.g. 1111, 333, 111. This is an indication that the human is a part of the shift. Here are some helpful posts on the shift for further understanding. Shifts. Expect them 7 days. A message of peace from the universe class equals glossary link greater than the shift in energies between times. Also, some herbs or ingredients that are a part of baths are aligned with certain spirits that pass through certain hours. The practitioner should know this. Everything is about timing. Again, know what you are doing when you are doing a bath. Some baths are supposed to be taken when the sun is up and others to be taken when the sun is down, and these are all for specific reasons. Baths can have an adverse effect if taken at the wrong time. Now back to the story. The woman received the bath from me, and not only did her foot clear up, not a spot of green left, but she then became pregnant. Why did this happen when she had only come to clear her foot? Try to answer before moving on. Not only did the enemy do this sorcery to hurt the woman physically, the work itself acted negatively against the woman in her ability to get pregnant. So compare this to Joe's story. The work was not done to stop the woman's ability to become pregnant, but it had a ricochet effect in her life and blocked all areas of possible blessings. So the bath opened everything. It's like rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub around your nostrils and suddenly you can breathe. It has been several years since the woman took that one bath and her life has risen so far. She has now completed her master's, landed an excellent job, opened a new business, and is now engaged. I can honestly say that is one of my clients who has never left my side and has always been appreciative of that powerful work that did what doctors could not do. I am not honoring myself, I am honoring the universe for giving me the knowledge to help other people. And kudos to all other practitioners who assist people correctly and see their results. Baths are important, just like noun, divi n, the practice of seeking knowledge and clarity of the past, present, or future through spiritual means.